Hey friends, Andy here. How you doing? Good to see you. You submitted questions and I'm going to answer those questions. And some of those questions were very interesting. All right, let's jump into it like we're jumping into a pool full of Jello. Let's do it. Oyster asks, do you think real node projects are something that is needed no matter the market condition? That's actually a pretty big question, and who knows the answer to it? I think, yes, there is room in the bigger picture market, the bigger world out there for utility real node projects. Do I truly believe that everything needs to be on blockchain? Absolutely not. Do I think that even a bunch of the real nodes are going to fail eventually? Yes, definitely. But do I believe some of them that have actual real use cases will survive and go on to be real companies in the real world used by real people one day? Yeah, sure. I also tend to think that utility nodes might even still be relevant shorter term just during periods like this. I know most of mine, my pre-search nodes, my Flux nodes, my streamer nodes, they're all still spitting out pretty decent profit even during this bad period. So just from a survivability standpoint, for me, I really appreciate them.
I appreciate you.
Wade asks, where to start with $1,000 to invest? A lot of people are way below the where to invest $10,000 that most YouTubers post videos about. Well, I have done a video right up here about where to invest $1,000 in crypto, and I think most of that content is still relevant with the exception of a couple things, which I think I might say in there something about Anchor Protocol. So just ignore that part because that was a big colossal flop. But the core message of it is buy things like Bitcoin or Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I think the better question is with smaller amounts is not where should I put it so I can explode this amount, turn $1,000 into $100,000. I think most of the time that's usually hopeful gambling. I think the better question is how can I repeat this $1,000 investment more frequently or every single month? So I prefer someone spent less time thinking about where I should put my money into crypto and more time thinking about like what's a side hustle I can start? How can I get a raise at work? What are other things I can do to make more money so that I can invest more money into crypto? Because ultimately you can get super lucky in crypto, but it's fairly rare. And the real win in crypto is just having lots of cash flow so you can keep trying lots of different things and pour more and more money into things. And then as you get more money, you can buy bigger chunks of things that you think are definitely going to be around in the future. And in my case, putting as much money as I possibly can into Bitcoin. Is BlackRock crashing Bitcoin to load up? Yes, it's all a great conspiracy. They're all out there to get you and they're all working behind the curtain, moving the levers and making all this stuff happen. And my real answer is, I don't know, probably, maybe. All markets are manipulated, and that's just a sad state of affairs. I'm dollar cost averaging on Flux, but what's a good bottom? Well, Flux currently is at, I think, 48 cents when I checked today. Its low for this cycle, I think, was like 35, but it keeps kind of bouncing back up. Honestly, I would be surprised to see Flux under 30 cents or under 20 cents or lower in this cycle unless things got really, really bad. So anywhere between 25 to 50 cents during this bear market seems like a good place to me. But you should look at the chart yourself. You should come up with your own opinions yourself and decide what your own best entry place is, or just continue dollar cost averaging and forget about it. Just do it automatically. CD asks, why the Flux? We still don't have a crypto ETF like S&P 500, but instead of the best 500 US companies, it's top 50 cryptocurrencies. Call it DA50, Digital Assets 50. That's a great idea. And the short version answer of that is we probably need a spot Bitcoin ETF first to finally get approval. And then things like that can happen. Why we don't have them yet is because of regulation and because the regulating bodies are slow to move on new things like crypto. Nicodemus asks, in your opinion, what is the best assets to accumulate right now? Number one thing I'm accumulating right now is the orange coin, the Bitcoin. Aside from that, it just comes down to where your convictions lie, what your beliefs are, what you think is going to be more valuable in the future. For a long time, that was things like Flux for me. But now I have a position size that I'm happy with, so I'm not accumulating any more Flux other than mining it. So I'm focusing on all the other stuff, like Cadena, or maybe even some Ethereum, or who knows what else I put in there. Crypto Kingdom asks, why crypto down? Isn't that the question? That's the question I lay awake at night with existential dread washing over me, and I ask myself, why crypto down? Crypto Kingdom, thanks for your question. The answer is, who knows? No one knows. Celsius crash, Luna crash, a bunch of other funds and exchanges and everything crashing, leveraged positions being liquidated, the stock market falling, the Fed increasing rates, inflation running rampant, people not willing to spend as much money, the war, other economic reasons. Take your pick, all of it, some of it, whatever. It's all working together in this big old stew, this crypto stew, and it's just bringing the whole thing down. And while stew is delicious, your guess is as good as mine. This is fun, but the only thing that might be actually a bit more fun than this is giving that like button a little bit of a click. The 0.015 calories it takes to move your arm over and click that button is very worth it. And if you want to double up on that calorie burn, then click that subscribe button and that little bell icon. Also make sure your Fitbit was tracking all that, and then take a well-deserved break. You earned it. All right, let's get back to these questions. What are the best and stable DeFi projects at the moment which you're still strongly investing in? So I still have my money in Sphere. I haven't actually taken any out, and I haven't put any more in either, but that one is a longer term kind of a YOLO play for me. I have my money in Horde, which has been really good so far. I'm keep getting paid every single day. Their liquidity manager keeps growing. Things are looking really healthy there, but that one is high risk experimental, so who knows what the long term looks like. If the price goes low enough, I'm considering getting 32 Ethereum so I can run an Ethereum validator. And I have still been putting some money into yield nodes, which has been working out very well for me. Kenny asks, how much are you investing into crypto each month? And it depends, it varies. I don't have a set plan. Right now I do have dollar cost averaging turned on for Bitcoin with $100 per day going into Bitcoin. But at the same time, I'm also buying bigger chunks, like I just bought one entire Bitcoin just a couple days ago. So let's call it anywhere between $20,000 to $30,000. Eric asked me this on Twitter. Do I cop this, Andy? Talking about this gold shell KD5 miner he found. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I clicked this link and I found this miner that was greatly reduced in price, like a crazy good price. And anytime you find crazy good, like too good to be true prices on ASICs out there in the internet verse, they are almost always too good to be true. They're almost always scams. This is why I personally have partnered with Musk Miners. There's a link down in the description to find them. They are the people I buy all my ASICs from and highly recommend. I personally vouch for them. And the reason I partner with them is because there's so many scam websites out there that are trying to take your money. You spend 10 grand on a miner that you think is 50% off and you never get a miner. Or if you do, it's some out-of-date old, some other kind of miner, and you can never contact the company and they've just taken your money and run. So be very careful out there if you're buying ASICs. Make sure it's a very reputable source you're buying from. What do you think about all the VC inflows into DeFi? Do you think it's good or bad for the scene? Generally, I'm not crazy about venture capital money in crypto because usually they get great deals. They buy into tokens before launches at extremely reduced rates, and they have all these reserves of the tokens built up, and then the moment it hits the market, they can dump it onto all of you for much higher prices. However, if it's more so VC inflow coming in later after launch into the ecosystems, well then I think that's good because that's more money coming in, and more money means the whole thing works better and it's more successful, gets more traction, and hopefully if you invested early enough, your token value goes up. At the end of the day, venture capitalists only care about themselves. They are in it to make more money. So they don't care about you, your investment, you making money from projects. They just care about what they got in at, what they can get out at, and what that timeline between the two looks like. So I'm always very cautiously excited about stuff like that. I don't really care about venture capitalist money. I care more about what is the overall health of the ecosystem looks like, what is the diversity of money coming in, what is the long-term repercussions of said money coming in. Let's ask Ledger or Trezor. I have both. I like both. The big difference between them is that the ledgers have a secure element chip in them and Trezors don't. Trezors are basically just a fancy little interface for accessing a software wallet, and ledgers have an actual secure chip in them to make them a bit more secure and more of a true hardware wallet. But really, they're both great, and it doesn't really matter which one you choose. If it matters to you, Ledger has had a breach in the past where customer information got released out into the wild. No funds were taken because funds are locked locked on each individual device that we have, but just something to consider, I guess. I own and like both and think both are great. No wrong answers here. Is crypto actually a sound investment, or are most of us just buying our favorite coins and hoping for the best? I think most people are probably just buying their favorite coins and hoping for the best. Is crypto here to stay? Does crypto have a future? Is it a part of the future of the global economies? The answer to that, in my opinion, is a resounding yes. But will 95 or even 99% of all the current projects that exist make it to live in that future that's 10 to 20 years from now? And the answer to that, in my opinion, is a big fat no. So in my case, I'm picking quite a number of places to put my money in the hopes that some of them work out. But really, the only place I really truly have super long-term belief in is Bitcoin. So most things I hold, most of my favorite coins and things, at the end of the day are more or less means to an end that I hope one day they do really, really well in the next couple of years. And then I'm able to take most of those profits and put them back into Bitcoin and grow my Bitcoin position. Crypto is extraordinarily volatile, but that's what a new asset that's being released onto the world does when it's trying to find its place in the market. So I want to get in now and enjoy all the upside before that volatility kind of fades away, and also so does the upside. So yes, I think it is a sound investment in that it's a real investment. But no, it is certainly not as stable or as unexciting as something like an index fund. If I were a meme coin, which meme coin would you be and why? Question is, does it have to be like a currently existing meme coin, or do I have to make up my own meme coin? Patrick says, I'd be Shiba, Doge, Elon because I have a lot of potential but seem to under-deliver. I like that. If I were a meme coin, if I was gonna make up a meme coin, I think given the shirt I'm wearing, I got to start up a Golden Girls coin, and then I could be one of the lovely ladies from Golden Girls. I could be Blanche or something as a non-developer in the Discord. I could leave like little spirited, sassy messages all the time and be mysterious. Golden Girls coin. Sign me up. What's the chance that Bitcoin will become the world's wealth reserve during the inevitable economic disaster that awaits us sometime in the next 1 to 2 years, considering how Bitcoin was created as a response to the 2008 recession? Well, it is part of my investing thesis that I believe that Bitcoin will become a world reserve asset or world reserve currency. And I personally believe it's a very, very strong chance to happen within the next 10 to 20 years, maybe sooner if the right conditions happen. But given that we have a global world internet, it makes sense that we'd have a global currency and a global wealth reserve. And I also believe that there's lots of countries out there that maybe are a little bit tired of the entire world operating on the dollar. So I'm betting big that this reality happens. Next question, how is Zzz Money Club going? In particular, I'm curious if you recommend any ICOs to your subscribers that ended up being successful. What is your batting average in recommendations of ICOs or new coins? So we've definitely talked about lots of things that have turned out to be big wins, and we'll continue to explore new things and fun things and cool things that we think are going to be doing well into the future. But I think the premise of your question might be a little bit of a misunderstanding, because Zzz Money Club is not actually a here's the next coin we're all going to buy into. It's not a pump and dump. We don't really even talk about stuff like that all that much. Zzz Money Club is much more education focused. It's primarily a community of like-minded people. So if me and you are into crypto, we like to nerd out about it, well then in Zzz Money Club we get to talk all things crypto in detail, and you get to have access to me and other YouTubers and talk about those very things. But secondly, we actually have paid staff. We have people who are there as helpers and teachers in Zzz Money Club to answer any questions you have or teach you things, but also we do all these live streams and they make all this content and all these guides to teach you all the stuff, all the fundamentals you need to know. But on top of that, write out full research sections on new projects or existing projects and why you may or may not want to consider them. But it's definitely not something where, like a stock picking group or a crypto picking group or a crypto gym group where they pitch something out there and tell everybody to buy it. We don't do that because I don't think that's sustainable. I think most of the time those are pump and dumps, and I want something that is sustainable for not just the next few months, but the next few years. So maybe that's disappointing, and maybe that's not what you're hoping for with Zzz Money Club, but that is how we operate. And if you do like that, well, then there is a link in the description to join. I'd love to say hi to you in the Zzz Money Club. Would you do a collaboration with Tactical Investing and Tech Hustler? Sure. I've actually chatted with Tactical Investing before. Super nice guy. Love his channel. I'm not really super familiar with Tech Hustler, but, you know, I like talking to other YouTubers. I like talking to people who are into crypto. So sure, why not? How do you organize all the crypto things? Well, you get crypto thing places and you put the crypto things into their places, and then it's all organized, and that's the end of it.
Get your together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your so it's together.
The answer is Delta Investment Tracker is an app I use. I've been using for several years to track everything. But more so than that, I make a billion different spreadsheets to track all the things from crypto passive income to my investments or what I'm looking to invest in or what I'm researching. I do my best to keep it all consolidated so I can not fall behind on it. But even so, there's so much going on in crypto, it's inevitable you're going to fall behind and miss something. Thoughts on Helium 5G mining? Are you getting one? I'm very excited about 5G, and yes, I already have one. I have a Freedom Fi gateway. I've not deployed it yet. I really got to get on deploying that, but I have the 5G setup, so I'm hoping to get that thing set up and then report back once the rewards go live, which should be actually within the next month or so. Can you talk more about physical devices available? Yeah, so the main things I'm into are GPU mining rigs, which are just video cards with a motherboard and CPU and computer and all that stuff that runs software to mine crypto. That's been the one I've been running the longest. Also, I'm into mining ASICs, which are machines that only mine one specific currency, usually like Bitcoin or something, or in the case of the one I'm running here at the house, Cadena. But also there are Helium hotspots. There is the Deeper Connect Mini, which I'm running here. There are things like the M2 something hotspot thing. But then you can also run Raspberry Pis and run nodes and software. You can run computers at your house and run nodes on them. There's a million different ways to do physical devices that do crypto things. Are you bullish on DAG as much as Flux? Why yes or why not? Thanks. I am not as bullish on DAG as I'm Flux because I don't know a ton about DAG yet. I'm still researching lots of it. I like what I've seen so far. There's a good chance I will invest, but I don't currently have any money in DAG, and I have quite a bit of money in Flux. And that's not necessarily because I think Flux is better. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I just don't know that much about DAG or Constellation yet. Is now the time to dollar cost average into crypto or just wait? I am personally dollar cost averaging now. I think these prices are fantastic. Even if it goes lower, I'm still going to keep dollar cost averaging on the way down and then dollar cost my way back on up as we go to new all-time highs in the next few years. So many opportunities right now. Are you really my friend, Andy? Sure, if you want to be my friend. I mean, I don't know you. Are we actually really friends? No, but I want to be everybody's friend. I want to be kind. I want to share cool things with you so we can be virtual friends through the camera as much as that can happen.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
But if I ever do a meetup in person, to come up and shake my hand and be a real life friend, well then sure, let's do it. Mark asks, best place to get a cowboy hat in Austin. I'm not really a cowboy hat or boot enthusiast, but everyone seems to love the famous long-standing Allen's boots on South Congress, and I'm sure they sell hats as well, so go check them out. What is your honest opinion about Sphere Finance? I think it is a very long shot. I'm excited about it. I'm not putting any more money in, but I'm very hopeful with the amount I have put in into the future. I hope it all works out. Do a video on Mysterium DVPN. So I actually have run some Mysterium nodes and I couldn't quite keep them online. They kept turning off for some reason. I couldn't get some of them working. And the rewards were pretty pitiful. Once they do things, I know I've got a bunch of stuff in store. I'll check back in the future, but I was unimpressed with it so far. No hate, just my experience. I'm probably missing some big things. Jeremy asks, do you plan to diversify into other asset classes? I've seen so many crypto millionaires lose it when they could have had and should have diversified even a little bit into other asset classes. The answer is yes. When certain positions I have hit certain price targets, I plan to sell and I plan to diversify, well, call it diversifying if you want. I plan to diversify some into Bitcoin. I just want more and more Bitcoin. I then plan to take quite a bit out of the world of crypto and buy just some dumb, dead simple index funds like VTI, total market index funds, and then probably also buying some real estate. But yes, I plan to take the money and diversify across other asset classes that I think are good things to put your money into the long term. But even if the answer was just me putting more and more of the profits from my other projects I'm into Bitcoin, I would feel pretty good about that. I think the chances of losing it all with Bitcoin are very slim at this point. 13 years later after it was created. Wasn't that a lot of fun answering all those questions, seeing all the answers, all the cool questions that came in through the internet pipes? Well, watch this video here if you want to see even more questions being answered. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Stay golden. Goodbye.